everyone, welcome to Awe Inspired. My name's Amanda if you're new here, and today we're going to be doing a summer planning video. I actually have done this many years in a row, and I've gone into extreme detail when I was babysitting and I had children that were with me, and so I would plan out the whole entire schedule, and I'll show you a little bit of that today. But I'm also going to be showing you how I plan out with a blended family, how I make sure that we utilize all of our time really well. I already know that the summers are super short. We only have like 11 weeks of summer. It's over in a blink of an eye before you know it. And I was actually listening to Mel Robbins recently, and she said, when you break down our years into days, like most people live to be an average of 80 years old, if you break that down into days, like we think 80 years old, that's a long time. But how many days is it? How many days do you think the average person has on this planet? Comment your guess below. I think it'll be fun to do a little experiment. We can go back and see what your comments are, because I guarantee you're going to be surprised by the answer, and you are going to think that we have way more days here than we actually do. It's actually a little hint. It's smaller than you think. So I want to utilize all of our time that we have. We're a blended family. So although there's 11 weeks, we are divided in half. And you also have to equally share the children when it comes to holidays and stuff like that. Those of you out there that have blended families, give me a like. You guys know how it is. There's a lot of just different, this year, we don't have the children for 4th of July. This year, Mother's Day and Father's Day both fall on the opposite times. So there's going to be an exchange, and you have to account for all of those things before you can actually plan out all the fun activities. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways how I do that. One of which is with an e-calendar that I absolutely love. I'll leave it linked below. There's no monthly fee. It is amazing. And the other way is just using good old pen and paper or dry erase board. You can make a very easy calendar, plan out your whole entire summer, bada bing, bada boom. We could do meal plans, everything, the whole 9 yards. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's do it. This is what I used for my daycare kids in here. I have like all their names were on these little tabs, and then it has age appropriate assignments that I either printed out or just saved from the kids so that they would all have assignments in here every day. And I have a lot of extras, and so I'm going to give this to my niece along with this science experiment book, because I have a nephew and he will love all of this. But I wanted to show you, when I did run my little daycare, I just had a few kids. It was more like babysitting, but I ran it like a daycare. So we had a full itinerary for every single day for the week. I planned every single thing out. They knew this was hanging on the wall. They knew exactly what we were going to do. They knew the fun activities and what we were going to do in between. And so then every single day it was a little bit different, but for the most part, we got to do something fun. They got to be on their electronics. We did a little bit of educational time, and I utilized, there was free movie Monday, and so that's why we did movie Monday. You could take them up to the movie theater on Mondays and see movies for free. And then I had a Y membership, and so did the kids that I had, and so we were able to go to the pool for free every single day, or every single Tuesday, because it will add up if you have to pay for all of this out of pocket. And then you can just see it was the same thing. We would utilize the park a lot, which is a free thing that you can utilize. But every single day we did a little bit of a learning activity, except for on Thursdays. That was our field trip day, and I would take them to usually do something that was learning. Like we did take them on a tour of a historical house in St. Louis and just fun things like that. So usually the field trip incorporated some type of a learning, but not always. But this is how I did it. I planned it all out. I hung it up on the wall. Everyone could see exactly what we were going to do every day. I don't have Friday because I didn't have daycare kids Friday, and I only had my stepdaughters every other Friday, and that was a freebie day. So we didn't have to follow a schedule. We could just literally do whatever we wanted. I'm not going to go into this much detail this year, but I will show you what I'm going to do. I wanted to share my e-calendar with you guys. In the past, I've always done written down, but my husband actually got me this for Christmas, and I've been loving it. I've been using this for months now, and it's a really wonderful calendar, so I really want to share it with you. There is no monthly fee on this one, so I really like that. And it has so many different features down here for you to use. You can set up your children's chore list. It even has a time when they'll go off. It'll show them when they're late. They can come in here, mark off all their lists, make sure that they get their teeth brushed and all that during the summer. I know that's a struggle. But then we have the meal plan. They recently updated this, and I'm so happy with this feature. It makes it so easy. You can just click on whatever meal or whatever time of the day you want for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It'll come up with a list of options. You can add your own options. You can just quickly select pancakes for that day, go through, plan your lunch, say we're gonna have pizza, and it just makes it so much easier. You can streamline this, and as you go through, there's a photo feature. This whole thing can display as photos. I'm not going to show you that feature though, because we have a bunch of our personal photos on there. But there's also lists. So as you're going through and you're making your meal plan, you can toggle back and forth between your lists, make your grocery list. You can customize this to do any list that you want. And right now with Mother's Day, I'm sure there's probably a sale on this, so I would snag it as quickly as you can. You have a sleep mode in case it's too bright, and then just general settings that you have. But this calendar makes it so easy. It's really difficult with a blended family like ours because there's so much exchanges back and forth and stuff like that. And so to be able to have this right here, the kids can come, they can take a quick look at it. They know exactly where they're going to be. They know if there's going to be any schedule changes or anything like that. It's right here. And then I can actually plan because there's limited times. I mean, we have plans that weekend, that weekend, that weekend. The girls have a lot going on during the summer. So to be able to actually see free weekend, it makes it so easy to be able to plan it like this, where you can see what's going on. We have a weekend right here. We have a weekend right here. We have time right here and here. And so with a blended family, this makes it really easy, but not even just a blended family, a family with sports, a family that is large, a family that just wants to stay on track. This right here is where it's at. We have all of our people up here. We have our calendar. It's a really great feature. And if you are in the market for something like this, I'll leave it linked below. But you can also do this with pen and paper, and I'll show you how that's done right now. Sleeves, you can literally put May, write it all out on here. I use permanent markers, and then I use alcohol to erase because the dry erase will just come off. But I have everything planned. They know what they're gonna do after lunch and breakfast for their chores. They're gonna clean up after themselves. This is what they're gonna do. They know their schoolwork that they're gonna do. They know where we're going for fun days. And then I can just plan out these days. I know I want to do like a library day and different things like that. And then, so I'm just gonna go through and kind of mark off the days they're not gonna be here, and then do the library days as well.
I asked you earlier, how many days do you think an average person's life expectancy is? And it's 2,900 days. 80 years is only 2,900 days. Isn't that crazy?
Simple, really easy way to keep everything in order, and the kids can see it. It's very visual. Like I said, if you want to plan ahead, you could always use these little sleeves. You can print out a calendar and then mark on here with the magic eraser or with the permanent marker. You can also just mark on the piece of paper if you wanted to, do whatever suits your fancy. But I do think this is a good way to stay organized during the summer and be able to.
I'm going to start working on this art closet, and I just want to come in here and get everything organized into these little carts. I think these function so great. The kids can come in here, grab the carts, wheel them over to our dining room table, do all their crafts and fun things, and then wheel them back over here. They function so well. I've had one in here for a while now, and I just decided, since I could actually fit two in here and I had an extra, that I was going to utilize this for this purpose, because it just makes it so much easier for cleanup. And during the summer, when we have those rainy days or that super hot afternoon when we're not able to get outside, or we just need some downtime, we can always come in here. They can do their crafts. They have all types of different projects and stuff that they can work on. We have our science experiment kit in here. And so I just want to go through all of this. I'm kind of taking out some of the stuff that I do not want that I know the kids are not going to use anymore. And then I'm also taking out, like, we had a seasonal Christmas puzzle that's in the art closet, and I might as well go ahead and put that in the Christmas bin so that I have it for next year. I also wanted to go through all these other bins. These are just different things in here, and there's so many items that the kids have not touched in a very long time. So I'm going to gather all that up, and I'll actually be giving that to my nephew for him to enjoy. And then we have things in here I know the kids are going to still use. Like, they're not using this Play-Doh, and they haven't for a long time, but they like these little foam clay kits. They like the clay air dry modeling stuff. They're still into that type of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that in the bin for them to grab and use as they want. And then miscellaneous items in between. And that last bin is just a whole bin of slime making items. I have reusable plastic bowls that they can make. There's balloons in there. There's glue. There's shaving cream. There's contact solution. Everything that they need to make slime is in that bin. If they have friends over and they want to come down and make slime, they can grab this bin out, go to the dining room table, and do all their fun stuff. So I'm just going to make sure that I take off these old labels, put some new labels on here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and write with Sharpie. I do want to get my Cricut out and make some labels for these. I would love for it to be white. It would pop on this blue and look really beautiful. However, for right now, since I'm just trying to get everything organized, and I still want to make sure that this is how I'm going to keep it. So I went ahead and I put the easel up here, and those are, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep those. They don't use them that much. I'm going to ask the girls what they think about it. And then I just put all the items that they need a lot. This is all stuff that they're still currently using at their age, and they don't use Play-Doh anymore. I got rid of that, and I put the comp pins in there. So if you're wondering what that is, if you've ever seen my shorts, you've probably seen us make competition pins. It's just little pins. I paint them. There's little embellishments in here. I'll show you a little better. So little competition pins. I will paint them for her. And then there's little embellishments, little diamonds that she can put on the stuff. These you can order off Amazon. They're called Good Luck Ducks. They're so freaking cute. Look at them. Aren't they so cute? I'm going to go ahead and clean up the items that I know I don't want to go back in the closet, and just make sure that they go in the appropriate places so that they can be donated to where they need to go. I really hope that you guys got something from this video, and it helped you to realize that regardless of how you're planning your summer, whether you're doing it on your phone or you're using an e-calendar or you're using a dry erase calendar, it is so important just to sit down and kind of look at those months, because they go by so quickly. Before you know it, the school supplies are going to be out at the schools, the kids are going to be back full swing, the sports, the activities, all the things. Before you know it, it's going to be here. And the summers go by so short. And for years and years and years, when my daughter was young, I would always be like, oh, we're going to do all these things. And then boom, the summer would be over. It is so important just to take that little bit of time, just to plan it out, just to look at your calendar. Even if you just do 1 month at a time, just take a look at that calendar, figure out when you have that free time and when you can schedule in those times with your family to have those fun activities. If you're looking forward to some more summer fun activities, some meal ideas, some different like outdoor water activities, cookout ideas, different things like that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I will be doing tons of more of that on my channel. We like to be really involved during the summer, and we do a lot of fun stuff. Also follow me on Instagram, because you'll see a lot of behind the scenes over there. I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.